Yeah, I remember I was about 14 years old, I think, and I do remember that I just sort of tended to look down one day and this middle finger had decided to join in with the pick. So I just noticed it was playing whatever string was adjacent to the string the pick was on. So if the pick was on that string, then I remember looking down and thinking, that's interesting, and I didn't really question it. I just went with it. It felt natural, so I just kept on going. One of the exercises my classical teacher showed me was that classical guitarists will play scales. So they'll alternate between these two fingers and these two. And I did pretty much the same thing, but added in these two. So you could take the third and fourth fingers and I mean the tone's not really anything to write home about, but it's mainly about developing control with them, and it's, like I said, I'm not trying to set any speed records with it. It's more about just developing control and facility with them. So there's that approach, taking arpeggios and doing just things like that, rolling groupings across the strings, and yeah, there's no limit to it. You can what other sort of things like that's like sort of an alternate picking exercise. Once again, not for speed, but it's just sort of a mind trick, really. Just to have your mind tell your fingers to do something that they would normally never do, and just try and strengthen that control bridge between your head and your hands. And you can do that with the pick in the second finger, pick in the third finger, and so you can just really use your imagination and come up with all manner of exercises. But just the whole basic philosophy is whatever string the pick sits on, the other fingers just sit on the other strings, and they're at your disposal if you want them. So and the rest of it's just pretty much up to the left hand as to what notes you choose. Well, I was watching, I got a fantastic video of a DVD of Derek Trucks. He's a live band. I really consider Derek to be the greatest slide player I've ever seen or heard. And I was watching his technique on there because he doesn't use a pick. And when he plays the high strings, the thumb comes right across and mutes all the low strings. It's fantastic. I think I've seen Dwayne Allman sort of do that too. It's a really good approach. I use the heel of my hand to keep all these guys quiet while I'm on the high string. So if I'm down here, the right hand fingers help to shut these guys up. So
it's exactly the same technique you use as a normal string player, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's just now I've got a slide on my left hand, so it's kind of nice. I don't really have to change my mental process, and because I'm in standard tuning, I can still see the notes the same way on the neck, and you know, if I hear a melody, I understand how to play it from just being in standard tuning. So
makes life a lot easier.
Yeah, it's sort of less to think about, which is, for me, is good.
Fantastic.
this is what works for me, because I had trouble with vibrato too. It was always too nervy and uncontrollable. And when I play, the thumb basically stays behind the slide. I never sort of do this unless I get way up the top of the guitar and I just can't go any further. But I never do that sort of thing. And it just touches the neck and doesn't apply any pressure until I need vibrato, and then I can sort of pivot against the thumb and just rock against it. And it's really controllable. You can really control the speed of the whole thing. So you've sort of got this central point where if you sort of position it behind the fret, it'll come back to centre and you'll be in pitch. So that really helped me a lot. So yeah.
You're going to say about vibrato in your slide?
Well, just Rory's. Like, I could never really get it. Like, I can get closer to it now after all these years, but that all-round man, that... that opening, just... The only way I could even simulate it was with a whammy bar, like to actually hit the note with the slide and then whammy the guitar. But there's yeah, just that sort of thing. And it always, you know, it's nice if you can get that real dead stop. The dead stop muting too, because you know the pedal steel guys have got that down.
Another one?
All right.